Bienvenue à tous. Welcome to Reporters here on France 24. I'm Mark Owen. In this edition, desperate, oppressed, pushed into squalid camps, their very existence as a people is under threat. And the story behind the persecution of Rohingya Muslims is just as shocking. Disowned by the state in Burma, the very word Rohingya, as you'll hear in our report, has been banned. The Dalai Lama, Ban Ki-moon, and at least one Hollywood actor have all spoken out. But the calls of big-name humanitarians and diplomats seem to go unheard. The tragedy at sea in Southeast Asia is the headline of a crisis, and the UN says at least 2,000 Rohingyas could still be in migrant boats being trafficked at sea. Behind each statistic, a person with a family. Cyril Pine's report begins with a Rohingya mother, Bibi Hazara. She waits desperately for news of her son, 16 years old, out of contact for months.
Sadhu Husan. Abu Turah Hanzagat, Turah Hudurat. Ya Turah Durniki. Sadhu Husan. Turah Fuzza Binajana the Honiki. Abu Arbuza, Armano, Buza, Futu Arbuza Sai. Hali Afuta.
Her son's odyssey had ended miraculously on the coast of Sumatra in Aceh. But like thousands of migrants in the Indian Ocean, this is probably not the end of his ordeal. He will most likely have an identity number pinned to his torso and then be deported. This is the tragic cycle in which Siddiq Hassan and many other new boat people are caught up in. They depart at night from the Arakan State coast in northern Burma with local smugglers. They head south to the Irrawaddy Delta. Then, the most dangerous part of the trip, with no land in sight, across the Andaman Sea to the shores of Thailand. Clandestine transit camps become their temporary bases in the mountainous jungles of the Thai-Malaysian border. For the fortunate, this is the Malaysian or Indonesian El Dorado. Tens of thousands of migrants have crossed these seas and countries. Men and women whose identity and death will forever be a mystery. Starved, afflicted by disease, or killed by traffickers. Rangoon, Burma, early June. It is the political shockwave of the migrant crisis. Surprisingly, nationalist and anti-Rohingya demonstrations are spreading, condemning the surge of global outrage.
We reject the criticism of the international community. We do not recognize these Rohingya as true Burmese.
We decided to go to the root of the problem. We traveled north over the Bay of Bengal to the remote Arakan State. In recent months, 80,000 people have crossed this ocean. A desperate journey towards the unknown. The Arakan State was shaken by sectarian violence 3 years ago. A deep conflict has pitted the Arakanese Buddhists against Muslim Rohingyas. Whole neighborhoods were burned to ashes, leaving nearly 200 dead and tens of thousands of Rohingyas displaced. A whole region fell into chaos. Since then, the Burmese government introduced its Arakan Action Plan, a new form of institutionalized segregation. The so-called Burmese Spring became a season of hell for the Rohingyas.
That's it. We've arrived at the Bengali village.
In Arakan State, using the word Rohingya is prohibited. The word Bengali or foreigner must be used. It's to these so-called Bengali camps that the authorities have decided to take us. A public relations tour to promote the merits of the Arakan Action Plan.
Morning.
So, do you have electricity here?
Yes, Your Excellency.
General Muang Muang On is the state chief minister. He was not elected, but directly appointed by the Burmese president in order to end the crisis. It appears obvious that he seldom pays this kind of intimate visit inside the ghetto. But regardless, he came here today with a message.
Well, you know, of course these camps are temporary. We've gathered these Bengalis here just to carry out verification checks on their identity. We must know who is on our territory, but I can assure you that all those who are legitimate will be reintegrated into their villages.
The general is an expert in border security. He has a reputation for being pretty fair in the country and is willing to play the game of transparency.
And for you, sir, what is your plan in 2-3 years? Do you want to stay in Myanmar?
That's not for me to answer. I'm not in charge here. I just live around here.
Yes, what he means is that here is a Bengali camp, so there is a hierarchy. It's better that the camp leader answers these questions, and he's right here.
There is an awkward silence. The government PR goes a little off script, but the general maintains his composure and moves on.
We are well aware of what is said abroad, that we commit genocide, that these people are discriminated against, and so on. But go ahead since you're here. Ask him the questions directly.
As for me, I want to live here until I die.
Until you die. Well, maybe that's going to be soon.
Rohingya internment camps were built on the outskirts of Sittwe, the state capital. More than 100,000 people are crowded here, dependent on international humanitarian aid. These camps are normally off limits, but we managed to go back in, this time unescorted by the authorities. Here is the man who was so reluctant to answer our questions in the presence of the chief minister the day before.
I wanted to complain. The chief minister did not even call us by our name. I am not a Bengali. I am not a foreigner. I'm a Rohingya, like everyone else here.
It is difficult to track precisely for how long ago the Rohingya settled in Arakan. But in 1982, they were stripped of their Burmese nationality. This was the first step in a long eradication process of which the Arakan Action Plan seems to be the final stage. As a consequence, the growing exodus. This woman has just spent 3.5 months at sea, at the mercy of traffickers. Her trip to Malaysia had to be aborted.
I lost everything. I sold everything to make this trip. I'm alive, but that's all I have left.
She was held off the coast of Burma for weeks, pending departure to Malaysia. The traffickers abandoned the boat when the Burmese Navy intercepted them. Yet, all these people are still willing to take the risk. This man is a camp community leader. He can't do anything to stop the desperate flight.
Fleeing these IDP people from this country will never stop here. If you cannot do anything for these people, just like education, healthcare, and for job.
The illegal trafficking networks that haunt the Bay of Bengal are mainly Thai and Malaysian. But they have local intermediaries, often Rohingyas themselves, which depart from the Burmese coast in their own boats with their human cargo.
No, we have nothing to do with trafficking. The Burmese Navy and the Bangladeshi forces are right here. How could we go to Malaysia or anywhere else? The traffickers are all on the run now. They are from Udonji village.
Udonji village lies on the outskirts of the Rohingyas camp. This is where Mrs. Hazra is taking us. 2 days ago, she managed to make contact with her son in Aceh. He had just been rescued by fishermen after being thrown overboard.
I often see my son in my dreams. He's my only child. I think about him all the time. I recall when he helped me fetch wood, when I talked to him when he was little. It's there. It's his house in this hamlet.
Mrs. Hazra believes that Mubarak, the man who took her son to the traffickers, lives there. But he vanished like many other smugglers. Only his younger brother is there now.
Your brother is a gangster. He's a trafficker. I'm sure it was him who sent Sada Kusong into the ocean. The news that I received was terrible. You want to know? I'll tell you. My son was stabbed with a knife on the boat. He was hurt in the arm and the back. Then they threw him into the water and left him to die. They threw in other men too. How can you do such a thing? How?
But did you see my brother take him with your very own eyes? Well, no, of course not. It's not good to falsely accuse. It's wrong. And I don't care what you say, my brother is innocent. He's not here, but he has nothing to do with this.
Then I'll never see my son again? Your brother is hiding. I have no recourse. I don't even have the right to go to the police.
Indeed, the Rohingyas do not have any rights. It is in the district of Kalar Angmin, right in the heart of Sitwe, that the violence began in 2012. Thousands of Rohingyas, descendants of Arab traders or Turkish soldiers, lived here for generations, but the majority have now fled. This retired civil servant is the only one willing to talk.
You allowed us only to go here and there inside our village, our quarter. If you need to go the outside, there is checkpoint. As a government staff, I cannot go to the bank to draw my salary. From the beginning of the war, not to separate with the map, Myanmar and other country. When the what is called separate, make from other country, it is Myanmar. At that time, you are here. Understand?
They have been described as among the world's least wanted minority. The fate of the Rohingyas seems to be a vicious cycle marked by persecution and exodus.
And our reporter Cyril Pan joins us now by satellite from Bangkok. Cyril, thank you so much for that report. Can you tell us, do you have news of the young man in question and his mother?
Well, the young man is quite okay. He's just, it's quite miraculously he survived anyway. He made it to Aceh in Indonesia. But the thing is, for his future, it's quite difficult to say what's going to happen to him. We understand that Malaysia and Indonesia, under strong pressure from the UN and the international community, after pushing back a lot of migrants out of the sea, their territorial sea, accepted some of hundreds of migrants. So Sada Kusong, which is his name, 16 years old, young Rohingya, is going probably to settle for 1 year only, temporarily, in Indonesia. And the key question is, what is going to happen to him in the future? He will be expelled. He will be expelled, but where? Since he will not be recognized by Burma as a Burmese citizen because he's a Rohingya, he will be expelled maybe in Bangladesh, and then the cycle of this migration will start over and over again. So it's really a key point on the tragedy which these people are going through now.
And Cyril, it seems these Rohingyas have no human rights. How can that be?
Well, according to the United Nations, this is the most persecuted minority in the world, indeed. And when you check in the northern Burma, in the Arakan state, when they are just living in huge ghettos with less and less rights, yes, you have really an idea of the living conditions of these people. And it seems that the Burmese regime is really using them as a scapegoat before the next elections to raise the security concern for the people. And if you see the reaction of in the whole Burma, of the Burmese people, you have some nationalistic, anti-Rohingya demonstration all over the country now. It's a really green future again for these people.
Cyril, people watching this program around the world might well be asking, why is there silence on this issue from Aung San Suu Kyi?
Well, she can't say much because she's really much expecting from the next general elections to not to be the president, because she can't be the president, but at least to bring a party, the National League for Democracy, to have a key role in the national politics in next year. And the thing is, if she open up about the Rohingya, if she says anything regarding the Rohingyas, she will have like 80 or 90% of the Burmese population against her. So she basically have been downgraded from an icon who supported pro-democracy struggle for 3 decades to just a politician, and for that she can't say anything to protect these people.
Cyril Payen, thank you very much indeed. To see Cyril's report again, of course, you can go to our website, france24 in French, English or in Arabic. This is Reporters on France 24. Stay with us.